Yeah?
Are you recording this?
Yes, I am. So,
Did I sign the release? I
Yes,
didn't see one.
equals. Here, sign it here right now.
Okay, so if you want shut down, abort, or confirm.
Yep.
Confirm means yes, abort means no.
Okay.
Kind of makes sense?
Yep.
So confirm,
it's easy.
the board shuts down. If you want to put things into memory, it will say, do you want to? You hit check mark for confirm,
Okay.
and you're good to go.
That makes
alrighty.
sense.
So your board is set right now. That's not supposed to be on, but it's not doing anything anyway, so I'm not sure why it's on.
It is touchy, like the timing of how you turn it on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you do things fast, it's like freaks out.
Snapshot doesn't do anything except for theater mode, and we're a television studio.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, if you want to play with this, you're 1-to-1. So all the dimmers, the light fixtures I showed you, one comes on to the right.
Yep. Let me move the TV.
Yep, it's there. I got it. Crazy gizmo. Enough, Jeff. You're always in there. Quick. Screw up the board before he gets back here.
Let there be a light.
One is on.
Okay, 1 is on. So then you keep going in the circle. 2,
3,
3,
4,
4,
5,
5.
6,
6, 7.
7. Which side's 8? 8,
Far wall.
9,
9 middle. 10.
10. So 8, 9, and 10 are your chroma wall lights or
Yeah.
curtain lights. If you're going to do the black curtain and you want kind of an infinity look, turn them off. Or turn them down. Now, because you're a fluorescent studio, which is wonderful, to dim a fluorescent light, you have to bring it up to full power to 100% for at least 5 minutes, and then you can dim it down.
Okay.
You cannot start and go to 1% or 5% and hope it will turn on.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do that, the phosphors will never heat up enough, and you will never get the output or the color temperature that you want.
Okay.
I'm a little slurring, I apologize.
Excellent.
Okay, so those are all your 1 to 10. Now we jumped, and you see your board is grouped into 12s.
Yeah.
You have 24 sliders, so you have 48 sliders on top. You can go through the next page, you have another 48, but everything's grouped in 12s. So all of your white light fluorescent is on one group. All of the dimmer bar in the back, number 13 is smack. So you can see how smack pops up on number 13. The dimmer bar you have on the grid is a 6-channel dimmer bar. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 are your that's your dimmer. So if you want to add those other two source 4s on the ground onto your grid, plug them into 14 and 15.
Okay.
You could plug them into anywhere you want, but it doesn't make sense to skip a dimmer.
Okay.
So I didn't want your LEDs to be up here, because if you had to open these channels up, because that's all the dimmer, why get confused on where they are?
Right.
It's so easy to say my white light starts at 1, my tungsten starts at 13, and my LED starts at 25. And then if you want to get into your color changing LEDs, bring them in. We can convert to 3-pin DMX, drop it down the wall, bring everything on the floor, go to this page, and then all of these will control everything on the floor, or all your LED uplights. So that's why the expansion of this board is wonderful. So right now, that's called 1-to-1. A producer might walk in and say, oh, I want all 4 lights on, I want my backlights on, but I only want them down to half power, and I don't want any curtain lights. I want my uglies, 4 of them, and we're going to go to 4 because I want them kind of warm. And those are on. Then they're too bright, so we're going to dim them down to 70%. And I want the smack on. So we have all that. And so you could do that. There's my show. But if this person wants to come in and do this exact show next month, how would he do it? Do you guys remember how to use the board? Memories and that type of stuff?
We've never really gotten into
Good.
memories and things.
He'll say, well, I want to do a memory. So what over here, this board is broken into 2 sections. There's more than 2, but for our use, let's call it 2. Faders, all the buttons under faders. Faders to us means play, or playback. Record is exactly what it says, record. So I want to record this snapshot of lights into memory.
Mm-hmm.
So I will push
Record.
record memory. The board starts blinking. Everything starts blinking red. If you look at the board, one is blinking darker than all the other ones.
Yep.
There's something in memory here.
Okay.
I don't care what it is because it's gone because of all the lighting I took down and moved. It doesn't make sense to anything anymore. So
Probably mine.
I'm going to override number one
Go for it.
because it really doesn't have any bearing. So we're going to pretend that number one isn't blinking darker. I'll just push number one for 2 seconds, let go. It will stop blinking. It'll turn to green to show you what was there. From there, memory stopped blinking. It went back to 1 through 48. Now you can bring everything down. Studio is off. Now I want to come back and play that memory I have. But I want to play the memory. So what button here do you think you might push to play that memory?
Memory.
Where's the play faders? Where's the play buttons?
Will be in this
Okay.
room somewhere.
What button says something to do with memory?
Right here.
Mems. Push it
And hit 1.
and then slide one up. All the lights come back to exactly what you had before. Now, if you bring the slider down and you push one, that's a preview. Hold it. It'll show you what that memory has. Let it go and it's dark. So you have to bring it up. Now, this slider in memory can have... Hello? This slider can have dimming capabilities for your set.
Nice.
So the way to do this again is let's try this. So if we want to put 1 through 48, all front 4 lights, 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay, we're going to put it in memory. Record memory, hit number 25. All 3 backlights, we're going to put it in memory. Record number 26. All 3 curtain lights, put on a memory, record memory, number 27. Now, if I want to do something creative, I can say, I want my front lights up at full power, or bring them all up full power, front, back, and... So now my
That's
front
handy.
lights, because I want to bring my front lights down in unison, I could bring that down to say 60%. Now my back lights, those are too bright because I have someone who's follically challenged or blonde hair or whatever it may be.
We have a lot
I
of
want to bring my backlights down a lot, just enough to give them some separation from the background. But since we're using black curtain, I want to go almost way dark, not all the way off, because I want to have the curtain some glow. A little bit of glow will give it some texture and shape, so you lose that infinity look, but you gain that ruffled black curtain look. So that's really nice. So you can play with it that way.
That's great.
If you like that look, hit record memory, number 2, close that down, go back to memory. When you bring up number 2, that's the exact look we created by doing those.
Okay.
This is also very important if you're doing chroma key work and the green wall is too bright. You can really start bringing these down all together to get that perfect level of light on the green wall.
Yep.
Okay? So that is grouping lights together in memories.
That's handy.
All you're doing is going 1 through 48, picking whatever you want, turn your lights on, and then hit them. The last grouping we didn't do, which maybe we should, whoops. Let's get out of that, clear. So 1 through 48, every other one on these LEDs are dimmers. Nothing happens until you bring up channel 2.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring up channel 2 to number 3.5. So if you're looking at the first LED, you can see the inside of it just by going up and down. I'm not sure why, but when you go to 0, it turns it off. 1 is full amber. As you go up, it makes it cooler. But it doesn't give you a smooth dim to cool. It pops to cool on. So around 3.5 is a nice looking LED warm tone. So I'm going to lock that in. All my LEDs are on. I'm going to hit record memory, and that's going to be number 28. So now when I go back to memories, I can bring up front lighting, really dim down the front lights, then bring up 28. You can see 28 on the chairs, giving me a nice added glow. But I have these front lights, instead of a very dramatic look, I can turn these on to a nice low level, just to give me a little ambience of light around everybody. Then you'll start bringing in the backlights to really, but see how bright those backlights are? Really bring those down, just to give me a little glow and balance. Now we're nicely balanced. And maybe put a little kick on the curtain, and there you go. So you have a little bit of a, now you can do that. I'm gonna leave these here, because I really like having those.
Yeah, those
for
are
you.
good. Yep.
And then, if you like this, you keep doing it. So, when people use the board, each producer might want to have their own setting.
They should.
They might be nervous about other people messing up their board or whatever. So, if you go to memory, hold memory down. I'm holding it. Read the board. The LED screen says memory page 1. Bump 1 to 12 to change. So right now, 1 is lit. I can hold it down and hit 2. Now it says page 2. Page 4, page 7, page 12. There is no page 13 or higher.
Okay.
So page 12. Now when you're on page 12, hold it down. You're on page 12. When you go record memory, you see there's 48 buttons blinking. Each page will have 48 memories to do it. So this board will give you 576 memories, I believe. Many, many, many more than you should ever use. I don't think you'll ever use that many. So if we get out of here again, hold it down, got to page 1, hitting memories. Now we see whatever's lit. That's how many we have in this board, on this page. So it's very simple. You just keep building up memories until you like it. Generally, people are going to have a little book here, up here, or preferably hidden in your desk. So the book is going to be a notebook saying, Producer Paul is on page 2, his stand-up show is memory 3.
Okay.
And that's all it is. I mean, people won't remember.
We can make a chart.
You can make a chart and tape it to the wall, but make a copy because someone will rip it down and it'll be gone in about a week. Generally, I'm not saying here, just everywhere else I go. The other thing is you have a memory card slot. So if you turn the dial, doesn't really matter there. Memory card slot, you put it in there, you put menu, and then you just hit save, load, show, hit check, save or load, show, yes. Error, no card. I don't have a card in there. But if it did not say error, it would have said saved show. And then you can also erase the board. So if you want to, you can just go to menu, scroll to erase, and it will erase everything. If your board breaks and you need me to take it back and send it in for repair, they erase everything back to factory settings.
Right.
And there's also a button here when you go into menu, restore to factory settings. That erases everything you've done.
Okay.
So you gotta be pretty careful about that.
Will that record everything to the SD drive? To the SD
Everything,
drive?
every page, every
Oh, every single thing goes to
everything, every page, every memory, everything goes to that card. So when you put it back in, it reboots it to whatever you had before. So the other thing, let's create something silly for a second. Let's do these, and let's do these. Okay, and then we're gonna create a memory, record memory. We're gonna go number 13. So the one thing is sometimes you have a memory, you want to edit that memory.
Yep.
So the one thing I'm doing is I have a memory, number 13, and I know that, oh my God, I forgot to put on my backlights. So I'm gonna hit edit memory. All the memories I have are blinking. What I'm gonna do is push 13, raise it, and then,
Make the changes to it.
oops, I'm sorry. Push 13, it's edit memory, don't raise it, just push it. Whatever's on the memory right now will turn green.
Okay.
I wanna add those greens. Let's start over. I did it wrong.
Take 2.
Take 2. I want to edit my memory. I hit edit memory, I raise it to turn on the lights, then I push 13. My lights are on, it's live. I want to add the backlights. Now I can add the backlights and they'll turn on. If I do not raise the slider first before I push the button, you won't see the lights become active as you're editing. It'll still work, you just won't see them. So now I have those. Let's put it that kind of level. I hit edit memory again to tell it I'm done. Bring everything back down to 0. When I bring it up now, 13, you can see the backlights are in there. If I'm not sure, hit edit memory to, whoops. If I'm not sure, come on, get out of there.
Just hit 13.
I should be able to, oh, I should hit page 1 through 48,
That helps.
and it'll show me what is on.
Mhm.
Now, see how these are very bright and these are not? The intensity of your LED shows the intensity of your fixture.
Okay.
So you know these lights
I don't
are
know if-
dim.
Yeah.
So I can raise these up a little bit. If I go any higher, the light starts to get brighter. I have surpassed the level of where I was dimmed. But you can never bring it down. You can only go higher. Then if I want to empty that out, we're on page 13. Go to darkness. Everything's off. Hit MEMS. Hit record memory. Hit number 13. Stops blinking. MEMS. 13's black. So it's not there anymore. So that's how you just, you recorded darkness over that.
Okay.
The board senses there's no DMX signal coming into it or registering, and then it just deletes it. That's how you use your board. Anything further than this, you're getting into theatrical settings. This board can make your lights turn on at a certain time and then fade down by themselves. And it's a timing mode, but the people on the set, you have to say go and then hit the button at the same time. If they hiccup or swallow or pause, all the lighting is off from the show, and then you're screwed. Oops.
Okay.
Sorry. And then you're,
Editing. We'll edit this part out.
thank you. So people like that mode, but not, I just don't think here.
Yeah.
You know, I do some studios where the color changing LEDs start like a warm glow, and then they change. You know, it's a pretty look.
Yeah.
But these are professionals.
Yeah.
So once you go back to 1 through 48, you are now in your 1 through 4. 49 through 96, again, you have nothing in that. 49 through 96 is the DMX mode. That's the range. So you can see your lights are still on,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not even, there's nothing lit.
Right.
That's because we're on the wrong page.
Okay.
Go to 48, 1 through 48,
Yep.
1 through 3 is lit. Now I can grab them and turn them off. If I'm on 49 through 96 and I try to raise things up,
Nothing's gonna happen.
nothing's working. Because it's telling the board to turn on DMX channel 49 through 96.
Mm-hmm.
You only have the numbers,
48.
what's there. 1 through 10, 1 through 48. So if you come in and the board is not working, check that. Has to be 1 through 48. The board has to have, well, your board has to have 7 lights lit up. It's gonna have, well, this doesn't count, sorry. So it's gonna have the blue, the white, the undo, the 1 through 48, and clear. For some reason, your board has snapshot, so add another one, 6. If you walk in and your blackout button is blinking, your button is down, your slider's down. Or the biggest one, blackout is solidly lit. When that's lit, nothing works. Nothing. Blackout out, all your lights will come on. So a lot of people will use the blackout as you go to the show. There has to be someone in here, and then they can just start dimming the lights down. But it's fluorescent lighting, so as you get closer to the bottom, it might start to flicker on you. See how it flickered a little bit before it went out?
Yeah.
That flicker is kind of annoying to a lot of people. So I always tell people don't go below 20%. Once you get to 20, right there, that's pretty much you're out. We're dark. Thank you. Elvis has left the building type of thing.
And what about the other slide controls?
These
Yeah.
are theatrical slide controls. What you can do is you can change this board to a 2-scene preset. This slider will control all your lights. These sliders will control a whole different bank of lights. And what you'll do is you have them opposite. You can see here's a 0 and here's a 10. So the top sliders, all those lights are on. Well, all those lights are on. And then as you raise these up, this is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you start swapping the lights out. That's a theatrical play mode. So these things you really never touch. A and B, A and B. There's B.
You want to
So
repeat that? Never touch?
you should put a piece of tape over those. You don't ever touch them. You
Got that,
shouldn't.
guys? Never touch?
You shouldn't be touching
Yes.
crossfaders, independence, magic, sequence, copy. All of those buttons are theatrical modes. If you push them too many times and you start playing with it, you will put this board into a mode and you will not be able to use it. And then you'll have to just erase it because you won't be able to figure out how to clear it. If you start clearing it, you will start clearing all your memories. So I highly advise recording it on
You've
some type
probably
of a
done that
card.
before.
It's not easy to delete things, but once you start playing with this clear button, it starts clearing. If you push the clear button, I think it's 3 times. You clear whatever you've done previously.
Yeah, that I know.
So you gotta be careful how you play with that one. So your world is 1 through 48,
Yep.
memories, and then record memories, clear sends you backwards,
And edit memory if you need to.
edit memory if you need to. Generally, people will just create a new memory. You don't have a lot of lights. If you get into color changers, edit memory comes in fantastic. Or if you're going to add in more lights, that's when you say, okay, this memory number 1, I love that, but I want to add in those 2 lights. So that's where you hit edit memory, add in the 2 lights, make it work, and you're good to go.
Okay. When we relabel this, what should we call? So 1 through 7 are all pretty much the same, right? 1, 2, 3.
Well, 1 through 4 are your front
5,
wash
6,
lights.
7. 1 through 4. Okay.
Yep.
Front wash.
5, 6, and 7
Yep.
are your back lights or back
Back.
wash.
Wash.
8, 9, 10 are your curtain or wall wash.
Curtain. Wall wash.
And then 13 through 18, 13 through 18 are tungsten lights, tungsten dimmer.
Tungsten, and that's the
Smack.
smack light.
Yeah.
And then if we add the 3 spotlights.
Yep. And then 25 through 2, 4, 6, 25 through 32, or 31, is it?
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, no, 32.
32. Okay.
25 through 32 are your LED horror lights. They should have a gel frame on there, so if you wanted to, you could take a nice little piece of amber and then bring up the LEDs all the way and only use the dimmer, and then the amber will give you a nice color balance with all the other lights.
So
Because that cold blue is kind of harsh.
Can you explain this one more time? One side is the light and one is the dimmer.
Dimmer is the first number.
So these are all
20.
the dimmers.
Odd numbers are dimmers, even numbers are color. And odd number dimmer does not work until color is on.
Okay.
Now, these units also have strobe capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
If they are strobing for some reason, when you walk in one day ever, somebody went up to the fixture and played with it and pushed the button.
Okay.
If that happens, call me. I'll walk you through the menu on the system and we'll turn strobe off. Not easy, but it's very annoying when thing starts
I
strobing.
bet.
It's
Okay.
not playland. Any questions on the board? I'm only really teaching you the simplistic
Yeah,
aspects of
that's,
this board.
that's kind of all we really need to know.
Now, this thing does have online tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to see those, or if you wanted the producer, whoever's going to use this,
Yep.
should go through the online tutorials before they're allowed to touch the board.
Okay.
Not to be offensive, just to be protective. Because the board, it's a lot of money, and for somebody to start messing it up, and I've never seen anyone break one, I've just seen people mess it up beyond usability.
Yeah.
And the Smart Fade manual, it's okay. I don't think it's really written in English. I think it's,
No, it's not.
it's not written for my English.
No.
And that's it.
Cool.